Hi betting experts, on Saturday the 30th of October we've got 10 brilliant races on ITV on Saturday. Let's start off with our value angle selection, the 320 at Ascot, the Bateaure London Gold Cup Handicap Chase, a grade 3 over 3 miles, and this looks a gilt-edged opportunity for Kim Bailey's Vindication to make a winning seasonal debut. Kim Bailey's going particularly well at the moment. His horse pretty fit and straight, and they've been winning. This one has got a terrific record at Ascot over these fences. He seems sure to be primed first time out. His mark eased a few pounds after losing his way last back end. When he gets into a rhythm round here, he's a fantastic jumper. He's a class above a handicapper really, and I think he might have a lot of these in trouble if David Bass pops him off in front as usual and strings them out. He's a relentless galloper, and I think any rain that falls is very much in his favour. The forecast, incidentally, is pretty grim over the weekend. I've made our selections with that in mind. For our nap of the day, we go to the 210 at Ascot. This is a Bateaure London Handicap Hurdle, a listed race, 4-year-olds and upwards, over 2 miles, a valuable contest, and I think Boots Hill of Harry Fry has got into his first handicap very lightly with Sam Twiston Davis, an eye-catching booking. Fry, a meticulous placer of his horses. He doesn't waste runs at all. Everything's thought out carefully. Doesn't have a scattergun approach like so many trainers. This one's absolutely 100% fit and working well at home apparently. He won his bumper impressively and his only run over hurdles without coming off the bridle. I think he's chucked in here. He won't mind if the ground eases a touch, and he should take plenty of beating. There's 8 other races on ITV. Let's spin through them in time order, starting at Wetherby in the 120. The ground currently good at Wetherby. But there is rain forecast, which will be most welcome there. They've struggled for runners in their early meetings because it's been on the faster side. But this opening 120, well, it's a competitive handicap chase over 2 mile 4. Now, if you saw Temple Hills win last time, it was a pretty amazing effort at Stratford. Not for the first time in his career. He made a series of jumping errors, blundering and bulldozing his way round Stratford, but showing terrific resolution to lead after the last there. If he can just jump a bit more fluently, I think he'll defy this slightly higher mark. He's got race fitness on his side and a positive ride on the cards. Over to Ascot for the 135. A really warm novice chase here over 2 mile 3. Sizable Sam is one of my horses to follow this season. He's a giant strapping chaser on looks. He managed to win several times over hurdles last season for Jeremy Scott. This might be a pretty hot race to start off in, and he might need 3 miles in time, but any rain that falls is massively in his favour, and if he can put in a clean round of jumping, I'm sure his huge engine will take him close. Back to Wetherby for the 155. This is the Mare's Hurdle over 2 miles, and Miranda is a really prolific winner. She's 5 from 10 over hurdles. She's been winning on the flat. She's sure to be primed with Paul Nicholls absolutely flying as usual. She's got a smart turn of foot. Flat tracks are her optimum, and I think she'll take a lot of beating. Staying at Wetherby for the 230, well, Paisley Hill reappears here in this valuable grade 2 over 3 miles, but he is a horse who is now vulnerable. I think he has had a number of issues, and first time out he might just be slightly opposable. I think that Master Tommy Tucker here, who's a high-class chaser really, often makes jumping errors that hold him back, but he's basically got a huge cruising speed. He's liable to be fit. He's a fascinating runner here, back over timber. I wouldn't be surprised if they fronted with him, and he could take a bit of dislodging off the pace. Back to Ascot for the 245, a really competitive 2 mile 1 handicap. Well, a Moolah Gold was really progressive and brilliantly ridden all last season by Bridget, and Dan Skelton's sure to have him primed first time out. Every time he comes to Ascot he runs really well. He's the sort of handicap who's only inched up the weights by a pound or two because he's produced late and doesn't do a lot in front, which is absolutely ideal. I'm sure he'll go well here if he enjoys any luck in running. The ITV cameras are over at Down Royal for their 250. A champion steeplechase, a grade 1 over 3 miles, a fascinating clash here, but I do think that Frodon is probably the now horse who's going to front run. 100% fit, working well, been for a racecourse gallop, primed for this, a prolific winner over the years, and I think this sort of graded race is just right now. He's got so much weight to carry in the top handicaps, it's almost impossible for him to win now, so they're going down the graded route, and I think he'll take a bit of passing if he manages to dictate from the tape. Back to Wetherby for the 305, the Charlie Hall. Grade 2, a disappointing field over 3 miles. It looks a bit of a match to me between Surname, who's got questions to answer after losing his way last back end, and Shan Blue, who is an absolute Wetherby specialist, glides round this track, sure to be 100% fit. He did rather taper off at the end of last season with a hefty defeat on his final run, but I think you go back to his earlier wins, he was really impressive at this track, and I think he might just improve past Surname, who's obviously had issues. Final race on ITV, the 340 at Wetherby. I do think that Half a Piece, who's a double figure price, is definitely overpriced. Now, hasn't run for 6 months, but Pam Sly's expert at getting them fit. Has a really good record at Wetherby with the emphasis on speed. And the icing on the cake is that Jack Andrews' book, taking off £5, he's a really talented claimer. I think Half a Piece is well overpriced and should go really well. Best of luck with all 10 ITV races on Saturday, betting experts.